Hello everyone, iCool Tech here. iPhone 11 on iOS 14.6, let's take a look to see why you should update. If you're watching on iPhone 11, you should totally consider subscribing using the button just below and enabling notifications as well, so you're always up to date on how your iPhone performs on the latest iOS releases. iPhone 11 performs just as good as it did with iOS 14.5 since updating it to iOS 14.6 for me. Now, this iOS release did include a fix for performance decreases some users were experiencing, so it's not very surprising. So if you're having issues with performance, 14.6 should fix that. While animations have remained the same as they were on iOS 14.5 for me as well, some users have reported that they were noticing stuttering with iOS 14.5 while others were not. Now with iOS 14.6, this does remain unchanged, so if you are having issues on 14.5 or 14.5.1, it may not be fixed for you. Now as for RAM management, this has not changed at all since iOS 14.5, meaning that reloads are not at all frequent in my experience. Before I get into battery life, keep in mind that my iPhone 11 does have a maximum capacity of 92% and has had no restarts. Now this is post-calibration. iPhone 11's battery life is no longer entirely abysmal in my experience, though I'm just kidding. Even after the calibration, the battery life still sucks just as much as iOS 14 does, subjectively obviously. Standby drain is, of course, still very inconsistent, meaning that I've seen a drain from anywhere from 6 to 15% per night. However, while it is still inconsistent, it has seen a slight improvement over that of iOS 14.5 or iOS 14.5.1. Now keep in mind that your battery performance can and will most likely vary from mine. Now overheating is just the same as early releases of iOS 14, and if you're coming from iOS 13, you may notice slightly more overheating, but nothing really major. Now, it only happens when you're performing a much heavier task, which is just natural. Now note that after updating your iPhone's software, you may experience slight battery drain and or overheating for a couple of days following. Now this is because the device has to re-index or perform many background processes post-update. Now as always with this device, everything is pretty much the same with some slight improvements here and there, but we're still brought back to the main question of should you update. Now if you're on iOS 14.5 or iOS 14.5.1, update, as there really isn't a reason not to. If you're on an earlier release of iOS 14, I'd just say update at this point as well. If you're on iOS 13 and need to update, I'd recommend updating unless you absolutely need good battery life, assuming you already have good battery life on your current release of iOS 13. If you're also on iOS 13 and don't care or need to update, then I'd recommend staying there for now. Alright everyone, that is all I have for this video. Now if you do have any questions or you'd just like to say hi, make sure to leave a comment down below. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter using the link in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.